Hey, Overcomers, I'm Dara Marie. I'm your favorite mindset teacher, and this is Be an Overcomer, where you are inspired and empowered to walk by faith and use the gift of imagination to create the life you desire. So, Overcomers, today's message is how to get the results you want using your subconscious mind. Now, we know that Joseph Murphy said that your subconscious mind takes you at your word. Basically, your subconscious mind is there to serve you. We also know Neville Goddard said that imagination creates reality. So this message, it's inspired by a question I had on a video. And basically the question was, the person was saying that they use the method of visualization before going to sleep, and then they dreamt the opposite of what they visualized. Like, why is that happening? Here's the thing, Overcomers. A lot of times when you start doing this mindset work, when you start desiring like something different for your life, when you really start getting serious about your goals and your vision and that thing that you desire, often the outside world may show you something that's contrary. And that is why I always tell you, do not allow what you see in the natural to hinder what your spirit believes, because you've already seen the vision in your mind. You have already gotten the download of what the next thing is for you, what your goal is, what your vision is, that thing that you desire. You've received the download. Now it is your job as a conscious creator, as a person of faith, to move forward in faith as God leads you. And you're probably like, okay, what do you mean by that? You're going to receive like some download, some divine insight of what you're supposed to do. Okay. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But I want to read to you from Joseph Murphy's book. I actually read this book online, and it's this book is called Your Infinite Power to Be Rich. Use the power of your subconscious mind to obtain the prosperity you deserve. So I actually want to read a couple of quotes that I wrote down from there. And it relates to this message about basically how do you get the results that you want using your subconscious mind. Okay? Because here's the thing, whatever you plug into your mind on a consistent basis, it will be expressed in this outside world. You will see it matched in this outside world. You'll receive something that is showing you like, okay, you've thought of this thing and then it manifests. You're going to see something that's going to match the thing that you're believing for. Okay. And that's how you're going to know you're on the right destination. Okay. That you're moving forward towards that thing. But sometimes in the beginning, things show up that's contrary. It may show up in your dream. You may get the opposite results in the outside world, but that is not to discourage you. That is not to make you feel like that thing isn't for you, that you should give up, that you should quit. On this channel, we are overcomers. We don't quit. We don't do that. All right. In fact, the other day, and I've been sitting on this for a few days, and I'm like, Lord, really? I'm supposed to say this? There's this saying, and I know a lot of the young people say this, standing on business. Here's the thing. In life, when it comes to your goals, when it comes to your vision, when it comes to that dream, when it comes to that thing you desire, either you're going to be standing on business or you're going to be standing on, and I can't say it, okay? This channel is for grown people. You already know. Either you have two choices. And if you look at this world, I don't mean to digress a little bit, but if you look at this world, it's always operating in like polar opposites. Either it's faith or fear. Okay? Prosperity, lack. Confidence, lacking confidence. Like it's always two forces at work. All right? That's why the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual principalities. And often you're supposed to speak to the mountain. But too often in this world, we are programmed and trained to talk about our mountains and talk about our problems and talk about lack and talk about fear. And then we wonder why those things stay like consistent in our reality, consistent in our lives. In order to transform your life, you're going to have to transform your thinking. Okay. So let me get back to this quote. The secret is to form a clear mental picture of what you want to be. Know that the power and wisdom of your subconscious will back you up, and persevere and be determined to be what you want to be. Have faith that your mental picture will be developed in your subconscious mind and become objectified in your experience. So, overcomers, you have to have faith. According to Joseph Murphy, he said you have to have faith. Have faith that the thing that you've seen in your mind, that mental picture, your mind's eye, the thing that you've seen in your mind, it will be objectified in your experience, meaning it will manifest, it will show up. So, why does sometimes the opposite of what we're believing for shows up in a dream? You've done the visualization, you've done the state akin to sleep. For those that don't know, that's a Neville Goddard technique. Basically, a few minutes before drifting off to sleep, you start to impress your subconscious mind. You start to think, okay, about the thing you desire. All right. And sometimes you'll see it show up in your dream, and that's how you know, okay, it's been impressed in your subconscious mind. Sometimes the opposite will show up. Sometimes as you're going about your daily life, the opposite will show up. For example, you may have received, like I tell you this all the time, a negative health report. And then next, you're believing for healing and you keep speaking healing and it seems that your body's getting worse. It could be financial success. And then next, there's lack. Here's the thing, overcomers. I want to ask you this. What is your subconscious, or what is your thinking? What is the state of your thinking? Because a lot of times we have embedded beliefs, embedded assumptions, embedded things, and sometimes it could be from childhood, it could be from friends, it could be from family, it could be from the TV, certain beliefs that hold us back. And because it's so deeply embedded, it's so deeply rooted, we don't know it. So just like when you're planting a garden, and you have to uproot the old soil. You have to take up the old roots before planting in new roots. Sometimes those things have to be let go. And how do you do that? The key is repetition. The key is being persistent, that no matter what is showing up in the outside world, no matter what is showing up that's contrary, you keep speaking towards that thing. Overcomers, there are certain things like in my life that I know, okay, this is great. And other things I'm like, nope, this has to get better. And so what am I doing towards it? I'm speaking towards it. I'm thinking towards it. I'm thinking that desired thing. I'm thinking from the desired state of what I want. And I'm staying persistent in it. And eventually it will manifest. Overcomers, for you, eventually it will manifest, but you have to stay persistent, that no matter what is showing up, you're going to keep believing. You're going to continue to walk by faith. Okay? As people of faith, the Bible says we walk by faith and not by sight. We're not supposed to be allowing the things in this outside world to control us. All right? And I'm telling you, they would want that. It's amazing because when you look at God's creation, when you look at human beings and you look how different, visually you see how different we are, yet they want us to be thinking the same and be like controlled robots. God has given you unique talents, gifts, different things that, and I want to just say this to you. You have everything within you already to be that success. You have everything already within you to have that life that you desire, to see your vision manifested, to see that goal come to pass. But the key is you're going to have to walk by faith and you cannot give up. Okay? And you have to be serious about your goals. You have to be serious about your vision. This is the one life that God has given you. I want to encourage you to make it a great one. And I want to tell you, you are here to live a victorious life. You were created to win. I know sometimes in life, circumstances come up, some things that come up that's contrary, and it looks like you may be losing. But I am here to tell you that you were created to win. Okay? The word says we are more than conquerors. That means we are created to outlast any challenge. But the key is mindset. What are you thinking on a daily basis? Do you believe that that vision, you can see it come to pass? Do you believe that desire you have, that you can have it, that you can achieve it? If you answered yes, you are well on your way. If you answered no, we have some work to do. Okay, overcomers? So I just want to encourage you today. Sometimes things will show up that's contrary, but that just means that you need to persist even more. Okay, I've given you different examples. I've given you, like several years ago, a health challenge. And this is where I know in this outside world, faith, I tell you this, it looks crazy. It looks crazy to a world that wants to just keep you focused on what's showing up in the 3D and not tapping in. And I'm telling you, if you don't tap in, if you don't get some quiet time, 5 to 10 minutes to think on your vision, 5 to 10 minutes to get away from people and just think on the things that you desire in life and quiet your mind and still your mind. The Bible says, be still and know that I am God. It says he speaks in a still small voice. You're not going to hear the voice of God amongst the chatter and the craziness and the busyness of life. I'm telling you. It is by design. It is by design to keep us all busy and running like endlessly, okay? And sometimes purposelessly, okay, without purpose. But God has called you for a great purpose. God has embedded great gifts in you. But you're going to have to walk by faith and not by sight. And use your imagination. Use that tool of imagination to transform your life, okay? Because overcomers, for me now, if someone shares, I'm so like trained with it now that if someone shares a challenge, they're sharing something that they're facing or something in my own personal life is going on and is contrary, I immediately start speaking to it. I immediately start visualizing. Like, what do I desire? I literally ask myself, no, what do I want from this? What outcome do I want from this? Okay, that's it. I start speaking towards it. I start thinking towards it. And that's how things shift. You have to be persistent. Like a nail that you take that hammer and you're going to put it in the wall. You don't give up if it doesn't go in the wall. If you want to put a painting up, you keep persisting until it gets in the wall. It's the same thing with your mind. You keep persisting until you accept that new idea of yourself. Until you start to believe that, okay, you can have that thing. And that's why I love affirmations, because your subconscious mind, like Joseph Murphy, you know, one of my favorite books of his, this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, it takes you at your word. It doesn't differentiate and say, you know what, you can't have that thing. You're not good enough for that. Oh, you didn't grow up in the right neighborhood, or you didn't live, whatever. Like, lies. Okay? Overcomers, whom the Son sets free is free indeed. Okay? It's all here. All right? Now, I want to read to you another quote. This one is from Neville Goddard. Like, I wrote down several quotes and I want to make sure I get them in the video. There is nothing in all the world to hold you back but yourself. Your own thoughts and concept of yourself. That's what Neville Goddard said. It's you. It's your own thoughts. That's what's shifting or allowing the things that you want to come to pass. All right? Now, overcomers. I want to read something else from Joseph Murphy. If you wish to bring about the realization of your desires or ideals, form a mental picture of fulfillment in your mind. Constantly imagine the reality of your desire. In this way, you will actually force it into being. Joseph Murphy said you're going to force it into being by keeping that thing in your mind consistently. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. You must be persistent. Okay? When it comes to your life, this is the one life that God has given you. I want to encourage you to make it a great one. I want to encourage you so that you know that you are here to live victoriously. You're not a victim. Circumstances, while they may seem really big and challenging and discouraging, God created you to live a victorious life. And this is why he says in one of my favorite scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11, For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Other translation says, and an expected end. And it's a good end, okay? You're here to live victoriously. Now, another quote I want, one more quote. You know, I love my quotes. You know, I'm a reader. I can't tell you about the latest reality show, okay, or whatever they want to tell you on TV, but I can tell you about a good book. I can tell you how to shift your mindset. That I know. The Lord has given me that. It's like a mantle. I can't, no matter what, I can't let it go. All right. And I just want to say, overcomers, thank you so much for those that are consistent in being here, those that have shared that these messages are healing them and helping them. So I thank you so much that it is helping you, that you feel inspired, because I don't get on here just to talk, just to waste your time. That is something that is like a pet peeve of mine. Please, let's be about purpose. Okay, let's be about purpose. Let's be about our vision. Let's go after our goals, our dreams, because you are supposed to have that thing. That's why you desire it. Now, the last quote I want to read to you. Refuse to accept suffering and never resign yourself to any situation. You are a transcendental being, and you can lift yourself up mentally over all conditions and circumstances. And that's from Joseph Murphy's book, Your Infinite Power to Be Rich. Like, I've been reading this book online. I love it so much. I need to order like the paperback book. Like, that's another thing. I'm old school. I know we have all these gadgets and things, but there's nothing like a book in hand. Okay. So anyway, overcomers, I hope this inspired you today. I hope it encouraged you. To my viewer that asked that question, that is why the opposite shows up. It shows up because you still have some deep-rooted things that need to be plucked out, just like the garden. Pluck out those old roots, right? The Bible says you can't basically, put new wine in old wineskins. And the Bible also says to be renewed by the transforming of your mind. And how do you do that? Daily. It cannot be a one-time thing. Overcomers, we have some routines and things that we do daily, right? You do it every day. So with that, the same thing with mindset work. You must do it daily. You must work on these things daily. You must work on your vision daily. You're here to have and live an awesome and amazing life. Overcomers, I pray this blessed you today. I pray it helped you. I pray it inspired you. If you like this message, please share it, comment, subscribe, and always be an overcomer.